Yep, that looks pretty good to me. Right then. So here we are. Let's just get out. Here we are with the new Zlin or Zlin or Zlin. I don't know. It's not French actually. It's a Czechoslovakian, Polish. I'm not sure. Sorry, didn't look into it enough. Uh, Aeroplane. It's got that sort of Eastern Bloc feel anyway. I've actually got the Canadian livery on at the minute, which I would advise any English-speaking people to do because then it gives you English labeled controls inside. Whereas a lot of the others are Hungarian or Slovak, which I'll need my Hungarian and Slovak friends to translate for me. But here it is. It's a little two-seater trainer. Really, really nice texturing using PBR textures. It looks like a payware aeroplane, and this is freeware. So just go onto the org and search for, or Google the Zlin 142 X-plane, and you'll get right to the org store, or the community site rather, where it is free. So I just thought I'd show you a few things before we actually take off, because I just did a little test flight last night, but today I wanted to show you a few of the options. So first of all, it's got a few hidden extras, this thing. If we have a look over here, you can actually get under the cowling. And let's do an inspection of the engine. Can I get any closer? No, not easily. But it brings out this little toolbox. Hang on, let's stand behind it. Brings out this little toolbox when you open the cowling and puts out the cones so you can get on with your repairs, which is great. If we go around the other side, not only that, but this cowling is also openable. But I love the fact it's got these absolutely perfect metal slats in for airflow. But you can look through there, all modelled really, really well. And if we open this one up, you can see that the control rods don't move, but at least the nose wheel axle moves. Let's just bring that down again. And around the other side. Let's close her up. Okay, so if you've left it off for a while, there's also the very high-tech battery compartment. Check this out. It's literally a battery sitting on a tray. So you can take that out, and then this table appears, and the charge of the battery comes up on this here. I haven't worked out anything else you can do with this. You can sort of double click that, but nothing's occurring. Maybe it's not working VR, or oh, actually that charge just went up. So maybe that's charged my battery now. So now I just click on, let's just have a little look in there. Click on the tray again. And there it is, it's back inside. So the little table's disappeared, we'll close it up. So there's some really, really nice touches on here that again, you normally only see in payware stuff. Now, what else have we got? Payware models. Oh, if we come around the other side and look at the wing, you're supposed to be able to check the fuel by looking at this. Can you see it's giving me a level there? I don't know what that's doing. Is that filling it, or is that just... Let's leave it there anyway. Screw it back in. So you got a little dipstick on each wing. If we go around the other side. And there's the other one. So just unscrews. Same thing, I guess. Can you change the fuel from that? I'll have to test that later. If you could, that would be really cool. If you can just sort of slide it up and down. There's the auxiliary tank out there. So if we get inside, now the great thing is configuration of this model is really, really simple. So one of the things that you can do is just get this little control sheet out, and it hovers here in front of you. If you click on it, it'll go straight back in. You can switch on and off. It's even in VR, it's easy to do. Now that is a great sign that they've thought about it, because I thought looking at these tiny little checkboxes it'd be difficult, but actually they kind of snap to them, so it's really, really easy. So if we just go on window reflections and turn that off, there it is. I actually turned the fairings on the wheels off, having said it's easy. But you can see the reflections on the windscreen are gone, that little sticker's remained. Incidentally, when we're flying, if shadows pass across the cockpit, you see the shadow of these stickers, which is absolutely amazing attention to detail. Let's put those window reflections back on. And you can have an iPad with Avitab. Now, here's a little gripe. I've got Avitab installed, and this little iPad with Avitab has come up here. Maybe someone can help me, but it's really, really dark. It still works. Actually, that doesn't, but if I get my own Avitab up, let's have a look. Here, it still works. I can click on it and such, but it's taken all the surrounds away on this one, and it's made it super dark. So I don't know what's going on with that. I'll have to ask the developers. Not that I use Avitab, but you know that much. But you want the option, don't you? There's a little SD card holder that you can load PNG files into, or JPEG files. And then you've got the different layouts in the center column here. So we're on layout 2 at the minute, which is giving us our GNS 430, 2 navigations, 2 times transponders. And then you can go old school. Look at that. How cool is that? I actually kind of prefer that for this aeroplane. But there it is anyway. Flying allowed only in normal mode. So let's switch it back to default. Down here, you've got a whole bunch of switches. Now, before I put the Canadian livery on, unfortunately, all of these switch labels were in Czech or Hungarian or Slovak, depending. So I was really, really pleased to see. I thought it might be French when I put the Canadian on, actually, but really pleased to see that they've labeled the labels inside change according to the livery you're using, which is just incredible, really. So there we are. We've got the trim wheels here and here. Yet to find out what that does. Someone again maybe help me with that. I could look in the instructions, of course. Oh, let's just get that configuration sheet out again. Going further down, you can actually open and close the cockpit. You can do that with this handle as well. We'll do that in a moment. You've got static elements. They're the red flag, red flag items, so they appear under the wings and such, and you get chocks if you click on that. You can change the fuel in here. That way I can check those dipsticks work in the same way. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. And if you're in 2D, not in VR, you can use these viewports to move around the plane. Back here, it took me a while to find it. You've actually got the normal map, normal X-plane map, and there's a little holder for it. If my VR thing will help. There you go. There it is. And these headphones sadly don't work yet. There is in the keyboard settings or in the joystick settings, there's an option for it. I switched it to Control and H, and nothing happens. It doesn't change anything. You can move this rear view mirror around, and the cockpit light you can move around as well. I haven't tried that yet in terms of whether it actually changes the lighting, but check this out. Oh man, how good is that? Let's have a look outside. And this guy turns up. He's presumably one of the developers, but it's actually a really, really good pilot model. Most of the pilot models in X-Plane look a bit, low poly, and I think they've done a great job on this. If you do feel like becoming a ginger mustachioed pilot, then your luck is in. If you actually move to the seat next door, you can be right next to him. If you're in the co-pilot seat, and there he is, looking good, my friend, my ginger buddy. But let's get back in. You can actually hide him as well in here. Now, where does it say that? I saw the option somewhere. Hide crew. There it is. And a little sticker appears here. Sticky note: the pilot is still present, but visually hidden. So thanks for that. But clearly he's not in VR. You get out and there he is. Maybe if we get in the co-pilot seat. Yeah, so from the outside he's always there, but from the inside, he's hidden. Anyway, I don't need that selection on. Let's click on that. Okay, so obviously we've got a starter up. Let's do that with the cowling open. Why not? So if we just go ahead down here, Need to turn that all the way left to turn the magnetos on. Okay, and then we've got the starter button here. Mixture to rich, compressor on. Let's have the throttle in a little bit. Now, one of the things they've done is a really amazing job on the propeller and the propeller sounds. It's one of my favourite things about this aircraft. So let's just go in here. Hello, that almost worked. No, it's not wanting to work. Let's try again. What am I doing wrong anymore? Okay, so check this out in the configuration. With the cockpit closed, you can change the volume. Now that is great thinking, isn't it? So we'll just bring that down for a bit. So I'll just show you the difference. So there we go. What else is there? I'm just going to bring that down a bit. Okay, so you can actually put inoperable stickers on most of the dials as well. If you just double click, let's get rid of that. Double click, then you get a little sticky note, as if this plane's kind of, you know, as old as it is. It was first brought out in the 60s. It was remade in the 90s, according to the blurb. So that's a bit of fun. But let's get on and fly this thing. Okay. And so, final checks. We've got compressor on down there. Magnetos. Mixture to rich. We're in Albertville, or Albertville, in near Courchevel in the Alps. So, it's pretty cool. Let's get going. So, if I can break off. Oh, no, hang on, there was one more thing. That's reminded me. Let's get out. I want you to see this. Have a look at this amazing propeller model. Using Airport Environment HD as my textures for the runway makes a nice job, as you can see. Right, check this out. I'd say that's one of the best modelled propellers that I've seen on a GA aircraft. And the fact that this is freeware is absolutely insane. I would have absolutely paid for this. Got some heat blow behind the engine by the look of it, behind the nose cone. Okay, so we're ready. Beautiful. So we're climbing. Vertical speed is good. I found if you take off the speed too low, if you rotate too early, it really struggles to climb, and you have to take such a shallow attitude to compensate for that. But get it just right, and she works really well. Let's have a look outside. How about a little flyby? Gotta have X-plane focus to get that to work. Bear with me. Don't crash. There we go. So. So this has acrobatic capability, but you're not supposed to do it without being switched to left main tank. Down here. Oh! Overdid it. There we go. Hello world. Do you know, it actually feels amazing in VR. It's one of the best renditions of a cockpit I've ever come across. Absolute props to the developers, it's just so good. Alright, rudder. Side slip, and we're there. Another thing about this, if we just take her down. Another thing about this is that she lands really lightly, unless I muck it up. Flaps engaged. Second stage of flaps. A little bit high, but this is going to be alright. Yeah, she's really responsive and really light on her feet. If you look at the documentation, it says to have all the... look at that. Oh my god, that felt good. Okay, touch and go. So, supposed to not have the compressor in for cruise. Maybe for climb though, hey? Now then, let's get that map back. Find out where I am. Show map. Zoom in. Okay, so we're going to cross over here. Courchevel's right there. Let's try and land at Courchevel. Courchevel. Don't know why that's Spanish when it's French, but there we are. That's my accent for you. Very good. flick it back on left and right tank. So this is Sky Story scenery with X-Europe Autogen and Auto Scenery X. Open Scenery X, sorry. I have to say the X-Europe Autogen is absolutely amazing. I would recommend it to everyone. Just such a better variety of buildings that are region appropriate. Fantastic. Let's try side slipping down the mountain. Ooh, some cables there. You've got to watch out for those around here. What is that? That looks like a main kind of relay station for all those cables. Yeah, let's not fly through those. So, having absolutely no trouble with FPS with this, that's another thing worth mentioning. Despite all of this interest and the fantastic texturing, despite what looks like sort of a cross between cloth and gaffer tape on the floor, I'm not sure if it's got FMod sounds or not, but whatever. It has got lib rain as well. It does have lib rain effects, so if I switch my active sky off for a minute and just put some rain on, I'll show you those. It's worth doing. And despite all of that, it's a high FPS GA aircraft, which is just fantastic. You know, I find that the Just Flight models really eat up FPS, and I can't find a good reason why. I hope they're doing something amazing with the flight model that I'm not aware of, but I have to say this feels incredible. So yeah. Let's do that. Let's just I'm just going to switch to desktop, turn off our active sky for the minute, come back in, and then let's set some rain up. Okay, so
afternoon
Thunderhawk 07, how you doing? Just going to put some rain on for this.
Is the headset heavy?
No, not at all. This is a Rift CV1. It's the simplest, but I still really enjoy it. I understand that the Rift S is not too bad either. The Quest is the heavy one because that's got all the it has all the gubbins in for running without a computer. Right, precipitation, we're going to stick that straight up to severe. There you go, let's see. I wanted to just show the lib rain effects built
Looks
into this.
Good.
Yeah man, it does, thank you. I'm really impressed with this model. Really, really impressed. Let's just slow this down. So the implementation of lib rain is a little bit primitive. It's not as good as something like the TBM 900, which just looks absolutely awesome with all the rivulets running, etc. But for God's sake, this is freeware. They've done a fantastic job. If you're into general aviation, Thunderhawk, I would absolutely immediately go and download this aeroplane. Love it. Watch those wires.
Yes, I'm building a full-size 737-800 sim.
Oh, good man. That must mean you're looking at Zebo or Tolis, I would imagine. Zebo first because it's free, and you can spend money on that sweet, sweet hardware. Give yourself a little treat sometime and go get this GA aircraft to fly because it's just such good fun.
Yeah, man.
Let's have a look from the outside. I love the chase view. That's the one. It's so tempting to do acrobatics from an outside view, but if you mess it up, it's really, really hard to recover. Last night I crashed.
What's the disorientation like, or are you used to it now?
I'm completely used to it, but actually in the Rift it's absolutely fine. The thing that gives you, you know, that sort of sense of disorientation or that sense of nausea some people get is when your FPS go low. I tell you, the only game that really, really affected me was when you're piloting the SRV in Elite Dangerous and you haven't got horizon hold mode on, so the whole thing is moving around. And what they know from VR is the more you perceive that the movement is outside of your control, the more likely you are to feel nauseous. So if your brain feels like, for example, I'm doing this, so I'm in control of that movement, I'm looking around, I'm in control of that movement, then the less likely you are to feel nauseous in VR. But I must admit, I'm a kind of 2-year veteran of the Rift, so I don't have any trouble. I just absolutely love it. You get really, really immersed. The presence is absolutely fine. I'm running this on 2 times. Well, I'll show you my settings actually. Here we are, graphics. I'm running this with visual effects to high, texture quality to high, anti-aliasing, 2 times SSA and FX full screen anti-aliasing. Draw shadows is off, that just kills FPS for no reason. Draw parked aircraft is off, reflection detail right off because we don't need that in X-Plane. Number of world objects, I find maximum is just a bit of a push for my PC, but that's just to do with the CPU. And then windowed simulator seems to help. I have no idea why. And keeping the lateral field of view for the windowed simulator down is a good idea. That just means it has to render less on the other screen. And then that's it really. It's I'm not oversampling it. Some people use super sampling at more than 1.0. If you super sample, you're essentially drawing it at a higher resolution and then downsampling it, but you get sort of better detail. But I have to say, I can just see these just fine with my level of anti-aliasing on. And I discovered that the anti-aliasing is less of an FPS killer. I've got a GTX 1080, so that's doing the work rather than the super sampling. Which seems to be more of a difficult thing for the PC to generate. So for me, I use anti-aliasing, not super sampling, and the dials I can read them absolutely fine. Something like this, I can't read that. The GNS 430, I'd need to zoom in to just see that. But
does Oculus Rift take up a lot of processing power?
No, not too bad at all. As I was just saying, you know, you can. What's the best way to answer that? Let me have a think. Oculus Rift has its own server processes, but actually the main thing is X-Plane. That's it. It's X-Plane. If X-Plane is not running well, or you're at the edge of your FPS already, just don't bother using VR as well, because that's gonna just kill it dead. VR essentially has to render 2 screens worth of information, so if you're already running one 4K screen, or if you run multiple monitor setup, then take all that away and replace with VR. You'll be absolutely bob on, because VR is just like two 2K screens. But you know, I have not got a great PC, and as you can see, for the smaller aircraft like this, it's running absolutely fine. Now then, we just need to turn this corner around this mountain. Probably afford to there we go. Don't need the mixture quite so high. Beautiful scenery here. Recommend you download it. Freeware. It's called A Sky Story. If you haven't got it already, it's of the French Alps. Absolutely beautiful. So we're flying back to Courchevel, which is going to be, thank you, it's going to be in cloud, so it's going to be a bit of a tough landing. But I'm wondering whether to cheat and put active sky back on. But at the minute, let's leave it like it is. I love those clouds hanging over the hills, you know. I'm also using X-Vision with the Real Life 3 preset by Leale Ryan, and X-Vision just makes it a lot less saturated.
I run P3D with add-ons for various airports.
Yeah, P3D is great. I mean, P3D...
Active Sky is excellent.
P3D is unfortunately, you know, it's really FSX technology that's just been boosted up, but it's still really great. But for me, X-Plane just has great scenery add-ons that seem to work for me. Right, I'm going to bottle out of this. Let's put Active Sky back on, so it's in my flight apps here. No, not my contacts, my flight apps. There we go. Yes, please do. There it is. And let's go to weather control. It's May last year. Should be a lot sunnier than this. Just have to wait a few minutes for the METAR to download, and then for it to be injected into X-Plane. And then what usually happens is the sky goes clear, and then it resets with the new weather formation. It's taking a while, man. Interesting. Stick it on live weather instead. Sometimes you gotta take the rift off. No, I'll do it this way. Okay, live weather. Back to the game. There we go. So it looks a lot clearer today out in the Alps. I can never see Courchevel's runway. I think I'm always too low as I come in, and I always go too far left. You're right though, Thunderhawk 07. You are right that Active Sky is great. I use it for local ATIS, and I use it for weather injection, but I don't use it for the cloud textures that it has. Right, I think we need to make sure that's as rich as it can be. Oh, actually no, hang on, at altitude you need a bit more air, don't you? Right, so see those...
Is that Rex?
Is that Rex? I don't know what you mean by that, I'm so sorry mate. Rex. Is that Courchevel up there? See, I think I'm in too low again. I think Courchevel's behind those trees. So I'm just going to have to keep climbing and sort of circle back for it. Oh, see, a little bit of...
I think Rex 5 is another sky creator.
Ah, I see, sorry, no, it's not Rex, then. I think it's up there, you know. Now look, I'm really struggling with the old ascent. We're going to have to not hit these trees or buildings. Let's get some speed. Ooh. I think that's Courchevel back there. If we zoom in on the map a bit, that should help.
Oh my god, I feel nausea, lol.
Well, again, when you're actually in the plane, happily it's not too bad. Let's try heading back now. I'm sure that's the runway up there. Let's see if we can make it this time. Actually didn't have the throttle pushed in enough. Compressors on for landing. Vertical speed. It's just higher than you think. You know, that's the thing about Courchevel. When you're coming in a little aircraft like this, it's just higher than you think. So this will be the second time I've landed at Courchevel Airport in this little fella. So if I die, it's been an honour. I think we're just going to do some more climbing first, otherwise I'm going to lose speed too much. Let's keep the rate of ascent.
Have you tried
Nice and
Lucknow
low.
Airport?
Yeah, I love Lucknow in Nepal. How fantastic. I haven't got that scenery downloaded at the minute actually, thank you for the reminder. There it is. Right, so if we just start here.
No worries, lol.
There's the airport. And we're just going to do one little scooch around here.
Here.
And then back in. Who's that? Let's have a look. Martin Flight, how you doing, man? We're just at Courchevel, just about to try and land. With the emphasis on try, I'm afraid, with my skills. So that little crosshair on the left is like a sighting reticle for when you're doing acrobatics. I'm not an acrobatic pilot, so I have no idea actually how to use it, but I presume it helps to keep targets sort of where they should be while you turn. Okay, now we're right. Let's go. And that car wants to cross in front of me, interesting. Second stage of flaps. Thank you. I think there should be a little tunnel there. What's gone wrong with my mesh? Okay, now that wasn't bad. I'll give myself that one. That was okay. And here we are at Courchevel.
Ten out of 10.
Oh, cheers, man. That's a bit off the centre line. But it feels so good. You must get this aircraft. It feels fantastic. Even stuff like this. Watch, if you toe brake, and you get a proper sense that if you toe brake, you can make a sharper turn. That's missing in so many little aircraft. What a view! What a view! Look at that. Let's just take that in for a minute. I'd like to stay there one day. How good would it be to stay in that little lodge? Just watching the comings and goings every day. Fantastic. Okay, so where to next? Let's have a look. I usually fly to Albertville, but I've just come from there. We could try and cross the mountains.
An enthusiast's dream location.
Yeah, it absolutely would be. Absolutely would be. You could sell tickets to that. Let's check this out. Oh, how good is that? Let's let the parking brake on.
Well.
Let me show you the different liveries. So here we are. So this is default. That's what I've just been flying. That's the Canadian one. I've seen a lot of people flying this one because they like the tailplane. In the documentation that comes with this, it tells you which country these all relate to. Hungary, Czechoslovakia as was, Slovakia, Canada, and I've probably missed one out. But also repaint kit comes up, so I guess that's what could that be for? So anyway, I do actually do some repainting sometimes, so I might get on with that and put my logo on this. Okay, let's close her up. Behind you've got a pair of headphones that doesn't seem to actually do anything. I could have that wrong though, so don't take my word for it, but I wonder if it's been superseded by that engine. If you look in this is the configuration, and if you look in here, there's an engine volume, which is great because that is a noisy engine. Check this out. Sorry about that. Do you know what? I did not know that those came open. There's just one feature after another in here. Do these do anything? No. Does that do dome light maybe? Ah, come on. Yeah, it's a little dome light, cabin light. Let's close those up. That's nice. I've never seen that before in any other aircraft.
Sound almost like a Pratt & Whitney radial LOL.
Yeah, it's really something. Let's put the bearings on wheels, hide cruise, sighting device. I'm sure in here, oh yeah, there it is, static elements. So if we get out, let's put the red tag items on and a pair of chocks. Fantastic. Don't forget, I keep saying it, this is all freeware. What an amazing thing. Where's those? I can't see it with that in the way. Where are those static elements again? On here. There it is. Blink. Good. Right. Let's get back to the matter in hand. I think what I'm going to do. Let's see. Is there anything that way? LFHM. I wonder if we can get to it that way. There's only one way to find out. There we go. So, might just check we've got enough fuel for that actually. Have to lean to the side, getting some overlay there. Stick the main tank fuel up. I'll make my weight greater, but I'm sure I'll be alright. Okay. Center her up. Everything's looking good. Oh, well, you know what? For prop geeks out there like you, let's have a look. How good is that?
Ha ha, stand clear of the problem.
Oh shit. That's quite intimidating actually. Okay. Parker brake off, toe brakes on. 1500. Full throttle.
Classic LOL.
Little bit of nose down. Whoa, where'd that centre line go? Okay, here we go. Watch for the stall warning. Ah, I did it without. That's unusual. Usually you get a stall warning off the edge there. What an amazing little bird. Now then, can you see that the shadows have changed here? Let's just see if that will do it real time. Yes. Oh my god, look at that. That's amazing. Why do these little things mean so much?
Good for freeware.
Amazing for freeware, absolutely. So we need to start to make our way through this maze of hills. Let's trim it out. There we go. Haven't yet played with the comms. Switch that one up for COM2 on.
Thanks for the entertainment, man. When are you on again?
No worries,
I'd
mate.
go and eat.
Ah, no problem. Go for it, and if you just stick a follow on, you'll get a notification when I'm on. I'm usually around at the weekends. You know, real life gets in the way of all this. Great to meet you, Thunderstruck. Good work, man.
Ha ha, Thunderstruck LOL.
Oh yeah, Thunderstruck. Thunderhawk. AC/DC, what a band, eh? Now I need to listen to that music. It's too good.
I think I'll call myself that in future.
I reckon. What a great track that is. Good to meet you, mate.
Cheers, dude. See you, have a good flight.
Cheers, buddy. See you soon. Let's get below these clouds, get a bit of that liberating goodness. It's weird, should be seeing it now. If I switched it off. Don't think so. So it's gone kind of streaky pixelated, so I guess that's the brain doing its thing. Not fly into a mountain. Look at that. Never seen that before. Oh, I don't like that. Where are we? I need to go this way actually. So it looks like the brain's working on the canopy so much that it's gone kind of distorted and streaky, as you can see, without actually being able to see any individual drops. It's kind of cool, but I'm not sure I like it. Let's just change the weather. This may or may not be better. Sort of active sky roulette here. So I believe we're making a left somewhere here. There's not a clear path through these mountains. I'm going to get to here, so we may or may not be able to get over the top over there. Better start climbing now. Oh, active sky, you've deigned to change the weather. Actually quite good timing. I think if we fly over this ridge here to the right, there might be a little path through there. You can just see the contour lines changing up a little bit here. Not sure what the top altitude is on this place. There, that's what I was talking about earlier. Check that out. You see that the acrobatic instructions here, top speeds for this, that and the other, are all on the There's this sort of sticker on the windshield, and that comes up in the shadows as well. Amazing. Let's not get a sun turn. Oh, glitchy. Now that won't click COM2, so I can't hear COM2, unfortunately. Oh, there it is. I'm sure there's a way of doing it, it's just me being crap. This top bar doesn't want to do anything. Let's switch to the other. I'm aware that while I'm doing this I've got to keep an eye on where I'm going, flying towards a mountainside. Let's have the other layout. There it is. That's my XATC chatter you can hear. How do we turn COM off? So I need to be going over there. I'm not sure I'm anywhere near high enough. Let's see if we can change that. Just when you think you've gone high enough. Still climbing. Wow, what beautiful scenery this is. French Alps by A Sky Story. Do you know, I think I might make it. don't run out of fuel. Always higher than you think when you're coming through these mountains. How amazing is that? That's really beautiful. Really well done. Oh, no, that's the money. That's what I was looking for. Up yours, Microsoft 2020. That's really something. In VR, that is really something. This is the point I wish I was in some sort of motor glider. Just switch the engine off. To the flyby. for watching. I think that's gonna call it a day now. Cool. Okay, take it easy. Safe flights.